If you've been following the Osmo Pocket 4 story over the past week, you've probably noticed how quickly the narrative has shifted. Just a few days ago, December 18th felt almost locked in. Between earlier leaks, FCC filings, and DJI's usual habit of squeezing launches in before the holidays, that date made sense. It wasn't official, but it felt believable. Then new images surfaced, and for a moment, it really did look like DJI was about to move. Expectations went up fast. And now, just as quickly, things have cooled down. Based on the most recent information, the Osmo Pocket 4 is no longer expected to launch before Christmas. The current expectation points toward January, most likely the second half of the month. There's no fixed date, no countdown, and no official confirmation yet, just a quieter shift in direction. What's important here is why this seems to be happening. Everything we're seeing suggests this is not a problem with the camera itself. There's no indication of a sensor issue, a processor issue, or a last-minute redesign of the core unit. Instead, the delay appears to be related to accessories. That might sound minor, but for DJI it's not. DJI rarely launches a product in isolation. Mounts, cases, expansion modules, and supporting accessories are part of the experience. If something in that ecosystem isn't ready, DJI tends to slow down rather than push a half-finished package out the door. That approach has frustrated people in the past, but it has also prevented rushed products with long-term problems. And if you look at the comments across multiple videos, a lot of viewers are actually fine with that. Many people are saying the Pocket 3 is still excellent, and they'd rather wait than see a rushed release. Now that's a fair take. Now, does this mean silence until January? Not necessarily. DJI has a habit of teasing without launching. We've seen this pattern before. A short teaser, a product page quietly appearing, or even controlled leaks near the end of December are still possible. But actual hands-on reviews, retail availability, and proper marketing, that's looking far more like a January event now. So if you were expecting a surprise holiday launch, it's probably time to reset expectations. That said, the bigger picture around the Pocket 4 hasn't changed much, and the rumored upgrades still line up the same way. A larger battery, likely around a 20% increase over the Pocket 3. That alone would address one of the most common complaints from long recording sessions. There's also still strong evidence pointing toward a dual camera system, which would explain the bulkier camera module seen in recent images. If that dual camera setup turns out to be real, it opens the door to something the Pocket series has never truly had before: practical zoom options without heavy quality loss. Not digital zoom in the usual sense, but something closer to optical-like framing choices. For vloggers and travelers, that would be a meaningful upgrade, not just a spec sheet number. The rotating screen appears to be staying, which makes sense given how well it's been received. There's also a growing possibility of a secondary status style display on the opposite side. Nothing confirmed yet, but it would fit DJI's recent design language and make quick checks easier without flipping the camera around. Now, zooming out for a moment, this Pocket 4 delay raises a larger question that a lot of you have been asking: what else is being pushed? There's been almost complete silence around other expected DJI products, especially avatar-related updates and anything involving new camera systems. No fresh filings, no meaningful leaks, and no movement. That silence feels louder now than it did a month ago. And this ties into something many viewers have mentioned directly in the comments: the broader situation around US availability and upcoming import restrictions. DJI may be rethinking not just when products launch, but where and how they launch first. An early China release followed by a staggered global rollout is absolutely possible. And we've seen that playbook before. That could explain the caution. That could explain the lack of official messaging, and it would explain why DJI might prefer January when they have more control over narrative, logistics, and regional approvals. So, to answer a few of the questions I keep seeing, no, the Osmo Pocket 4 is not canceled. No, it doesn't appear stuck in development limbo. And no, a surprise launch in the next few days is extremely unlikely without any official promotion or announcement. Right now, January looks like the realistic window. The hype hasn't disappeared, it's just paused, and that pause is probably intentional. At this stage, the smartest move is patience. The Pocket 3 is still a very capable camera, and if the Pocket 4 lands with the upgrades being hinted at, a few extra weeks of waiting won't matter in the long run. As always, if new information surfaces, especially anything concrete, I'll break it down clearly without jumping to conclusions. Until then, it's better to separate what's confirmed, what's likely, and what's pure speculation. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep you posted as this develops.